History's hidden wounds often bear the weight of stories untold. Step into the shadows of a painful past as we shed light on a forgotten narrative. The abuse of enslaved black men by white women, an unspoken reality that must be spoken. This history segment holds accounts of power and vulnerability, intertwining lives in ways we must confront. Understanding this aspect of our history adds depth to the legacy of systemic oppression. These stories challenge us to acknowledge the complexities of human behavior within a brutal system. Join us in exploring history's complexities regarding the abuse of black male slaves by white women. Today, we embark on a journey through time to discuss the intricate relationship between white women and black male slaves. We aim to shed light on the various aspects of this historical dynamic, exploring why such abuses occurred, the role of the government, potential sexual exploitation, the lives of enslaved black men, and the motivations behind these actions. The historical context. To comprehend this history chapter, we must place ourselves in the context of the transatlantic slave trade, which began in the 15th century. Black male slaves were systematically subjected to forced labor and dehumanization, a brutal reality that persisted for centuries. During this time, white women occupied roles within a profoundly patriarchal society, being influenced by the authority and control of men. As they had been stepping stones, they were constantly searching for something that would make them feel superior, and exploiting enslaved black men was their escape road. While some women might have held positions of relative privilege within their households, they were still bound by the broader systems of power and inequality. Their experiences were intertwined with those of enslaved black men in complex ways, shaped by the hierarchical society they inhabited. Power dynamics and abuses. The power dynamics within society significantly contributed to white women's abuse of enslaved black men. While white men held the dominant positions, some women exercised authority within their households. In some cases, this authority led to the mistreatment of enslaved people. This abuse could range from physical punishment to psychological torment, stemming from a twisted sense of superiority. Government and regulation. Government responses to the abuse of enslaved black men by white women varied across regions and periods. Some governments turned a blind eye, reinforcing the notion that enslaved individuals were mere property. Legal measures were implemented to protect enslaved people in other cases, though their effectiveness varied. It's important to note that societal norms and economic interests often influence these governmental decisions. Sexual exploitation. The topic of sexual exploitation is fraught with sensitivity and discomfort. While it is documented that some white women engaged in sexual relationships with black male slaves, it's crucial not to generalize or oversimplify these relationships. Some instances were consensual, while others were products of power imbalances. Regardless, such relationships were often marked by coercion and manipulation, making it challenging to definitively classify them. Life of black male slaves. The lives of enslaved black men were marked by unspeakable hardships. Forced to toil in fields, mines, and households, they faced grueling labor, dehumanization, and family separations. Their stories test the resilience and the pursuit of freedom as they resisted in various ways, including forming communities and seeking solace in cultural practices. Motivations of white women. Understanding the motivations of white women involved in mistreating enslaved black men requires nuanced analysis. Some sought to assert dominance within their households, emulating the behavior of white men. Economic interests also played a role, as the labor of enslaved individuals contributed to the prosperity of slaveholding families. Social pressure and the desire to conform to societal norms also influenced their actions. Actions towards black male slaves. The actions of white women towards enslaved black men were multifaceted. While some treated slaves with cruelty and disregard, others formed complex relationships that defied simple categorization. It's important to avoid oversimplification and recognize the spectrum of interactions, from outright abuse to more nuanced dynamics shaped by the complexities of power and circumstance. The relationship between white women and black male slaves is a chapter of history that evokes discomfort and a need for understanding. The abuses cannot be attributed to any single factor. Instead, they result from a web of power, societal norms, and individual motivations. By exploring this history, we honor the resilience of those who endured and shed light on the importance of acknowledging the complexities of the past. As we move forward, let us learn from history's lessons and strive for a world free from oppression and inequality. Do tell us your thoughts in the comments below regarding this power exploitation. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching.